A long time ago, there was a princess named Goze, who had thick rigid ram horns on her head. It all began when a witch laid a curse on her at the time when she was a baby because of her parents' offenses in the past. Goze, now 18 years old, had already grown to be a very beautiful damsel. No other maiden beauty could be compared to hers. Most villagers often called her beauty goddess, while the girls of Goze's age grew jealous of her beauty and the authority she had on them. And also, she will rule the kingdom due to being the only king's heir to the throne after her parents' demise. This makes all the other maidens of the kingdom even more envious of her people who had male children and always wished their sons could marry her. Even the low-standard villagers, such as the fishermen, farmers, and the rest. But Goze had a problem addressing her subjects. She's feeling embarrassed about her curse. She would always cover them up with a hat when she was in public so that the villagers would never know of her secret. The only person who ever saw the princess's horns was her hairdresser. Princess often pleaded with her hairdresser.
You must promise never to tell anyone that I have ram horns, or else I will banish you from my kingdom.
The wicked hairdresser, who is part of her haters, finds it difficult to keep the princess' secret.
This is my chance to ruin her life by telling the villagers that their stupid princess is a monster with ram horns, and all those her stupid shakara will come down,
she said, giggling to herself. The princess' 19th birthday party was announced, which is just 2 days away, and everyone was excited. The next morning, the hairdresser woke up and decided she would tell the villagers she could not keep the secret to herself no longer. She got dressed and left her house and walked out of the village into the countryside, inside an uncompleted building. When she was satisfied of where she has gotten, she shouted at the top of her voice.
The princess has ram horns on her head. Your dear princess is a beast.
Once she had shouted out the princess's secret, the hairdresser felt much better. Then, reassuring herself that she had not really betrayed the princess' trust. Unknown to her, there were children playing hide and seek in the uncompleted building. The children were very surprised to hear the hairdresser's voice, and they giggled and laughed about the secret of the princess. When they got home that day, the children told the secret to their parents. Then the parent told the secret to the rest of their family. Then each family told the secret to all of their friends.
I heard our princess have a horns.
They laughed at one another. Very soon the whole village knew about the princess's secret, and they all giggled and laughed because they now know why the princess always covered up her head with a hat whenever she was out in public. It was on the princess's birthday. Before she realized that everybody knew her secret because all eyes were on her. She was very embarrassed and out of shame burst into tears. Then Princess Goze remembered that the only person who knew about the horns was the hairdresser. Her birthday was a mess as each villager looked at their princess in disgust. The message about the princess's birthday had reached the witch who once cursed the princess when she was a baby. Out of curiosity and willingness to undo her curse, she grabbed her walking stick along with her scarf with a snap of her fingers and transformed herself into a maiden and headed to the palace. On getting to the palace, the news about the princess crying and how her hairdresser revealed her secret of the princess curse reached her. Feeling remorseful for the pain she caused for the beautiful princess, she immediately transforms herself back to her real form in the presence of the villagers. It was a gothic fright as everyone in the palace started running for their life because they all knew how cruel the witch was. She looked at the princess and said, "My daughter, I haven't come here to cause any trouble. I actually came here to surprise you for your birthday." Again, after reciting some incantations, she clapped both of her hands. And the princess' once ram horns vanished in a blink of an eye. The villagers stood numb and frightened by the witch's presence. Then she turned to the hairdresser and said, "And for you who can't mind your business and can't also keep your mouth shut." With a snap of finger, the princess hairdresser got large horns 10 times more larger than the princess's. This will teach you and others to stop being nosy about other people's affairs. Out of embarrassment, the hairdresser covered her face and left the village as everyone passing began to laugh at her.